every time you go down there, it's really important to be aware of what's happening.
Being a downhiller, yeah, that's one of a kind breed.
What I'm doing, I shouldn't take that for granted. Just smelling the start of the Kitzbhel, I mean, it's... I'll be back. Now it's almost the first time I see how beautiful it is up here. Because you know, every time I'm here, it's always focused about the race and you're in the zone. Because, you know, down that hill, it's where it happens. And I love how it's like still dramatic, even though there's no race. And I'm really, really excited to be back here when I'm having my boots on and ready to go.
En. Kör då, kom igen! Kör! Tempo, kom igen! Håll frekvensen, upp med frekvensen, kom igen!
He pushes me into places where I probably wouldn't have pushed myself.
So in the first times I saw Alex, he could barely lift his arm a little bit, but now he's able to lift it a lot of degrees further. And this is again showing how the nerves are reacting quickly or adapting to the new stimuli we give him, which is really remarkable in my mind. Up. Hela vägen.
I can really feel progress almost every week. And that is for the motivation, the mind is amazing. Because being an athlete, you don't really see much progress, right? We were talking about hundreds of a second. Now I'm talking about being able to lift my arm.
Bra. Kom igen, hela vägen.
It's not a fun situation, but it's a very, very cool experience, honestly. And it just shows me that how crazy it is to be an athlete, actually.
He's like crazy strong, crazy good mindset. His endurance is just insane. The way he moves, the way he sleeps, he's like a professional full-time athlete.
It's like a session that we just had here where it's super high intensity, and if I were to do it alone, I know that it would be really mentally challenging. So, you know, having Alex next to me, I can look over at him, I can see he's pushing. I try to follow his tempo when he's so strong, so, you know, then I push harder kind of beyond what I actually think is possible. Now, Alex is hugely important both in the Norwegian Ski Federation and also skiing internationally in the World Cup. So the amount of wins he has and medals and everything, it's really cool and inspiring. And then he's also such a humble guy. He hasn't changed anything after all the success, so that's very cool.
We're fighting for hundreds of seconds together, and we're trying to work on that goal every day together, and that is fantastic, and I really, really miss being a part of that team right now. But that also brings a lot of motivation on me doing the work and trying to get back. It's very good. It's awesome. Back to being an athlete. Okay. One of the skills we have as alpine skiers is that we can imagine ourselves going down a slope without going down it. So I don't know how many times I've done it in my head, but I know every turn. I know every little bump. So everything on the top here is just like boom, boom, boom. And then into the flat. When you're on the flat, it's just a moment to think. Either you think, whoa, I nailed it. Great, let's go. Or you think like, oh no, that was so bad. But then I still have a chance, I gotta go.
He's definitely the captain of the team, so it's good to have him back. And then everybody can push, so that's good. So the things that he gives to the team is so important to us. Especially the culture aspect. Always pushing, giving 100%, be a part of the team, and just give it all when we are training together. And that's some of the things that Alex benefits from as well, especially in this part of his recovery. Just doing something that's normal, being back together with the boys, having fun at training.
I'm not in goal yet. I need to really work with myself mentally to dare going full gas into the movements and really just know that I can.
We also find a lot of stuff that are similar to alpine skiing, and that's one of the reasons why Alex called me and wanted to do some extra stuff after his injury. When we first entered the ice, that's like 3 weeks ago, he just fell apart right away. Not good to watch. Now, just 3 weeks and 10 to 12 practices later, it's just crazy, the progression. He's a stubborn guy.
It's really fun to see his progress by every session we have. He's responding really well to the rehab.
I work with motor skills, and you need a lot of skills doing alpine skiing.
It's especially where we need to be prepared for unexpected and sudden movements to be able to adapt through the course they're racing in.
The thing is that you need to be prepared for something that is very hard to be prepared for.
So I give them a lot of different situations where they need to deal with to find a good solution. So if I ask them to do an exercise, I give them some demands. I want it to be fluid, rhythmic, with a good timing, and with a range and so on. So they need to process, try to find a good solution. What do I need to do with my body to be able to do what he wants?
It's like in the boxing ring when someone is hitting you, but you can block everything and then attack. That's a little bit how it is when you're skiing down there.
When they cope and they can do the exercise, I give them a new challenge for them to solve. So that's finding efficient solutions in the situations.
It's about controlling the intensity. It's controlling the course, controlling the snow, controlling the jumps, everything that comes at you, you handle it. And when you get to control Kitzbhel, that's when you know you've done something right. I put my ski boots and my skis on for the first time since the crash. That was done 5-6 months after the crash. Actually, it feels way better than expected. We'll have to see when I get out on the snow, but actually right now it feels quite normal. First of all, it's fantastic to be able to get into the boots again and feel the feeling of the tension around my leg and that actually working. Because I was really curious about the feeling of that pressure. A couple months ago, it was so far away that I was ever going to be able to ski again. So, boom! Now I can get back to normal, and then I get slowly into being a professional athlete again. Awesome. I'm glad I didn't quit. This moment I realized that this is something I want to do again.
I think he's going to be back. The question is he going to be back as strong as he was before? That's the question. I hope so.
Kitzbühel, steep, icy. In the end, I managed to win it, which was unbelievable in my eyes, because after the experience of the first time doing it, I was saying, well, I will never ever win this race because I'm so far out. But in the end, made it. So sitting here now and looking back at that, it's kind of a cool story. It's how it is for downhillers. I feel like this is the race. This is the race to win. This is the race you really want to perform. And it's hard to imagine. No one does it before they actually win one. it's such a challenge. It's not just physical challenge, it's a mental challenge.
And the question is, when he's back at the start of one of the very difficult downhills, is he able to forget what happened the last 2 years?
Coming up to start is always, to this area, is always this tense feeling, right? The hour to 2 hours before start is always very nerve-wracking, but it's also, you're in this bubble, in this zone, which is making it, nothing is more important than that moment and that race. It's always like super tough, but as soon as you pull out of the start, you're ready to go. And then the feeling of crossing the finish line is just with the rush you have. You don't get that anywhere else.
No matter how nervous you were, no matter how scared you were, how fast it was, how bumpy it was, at the end of the day, you always have a grin on your face because you live life to the fullest.
It's not so much about, winning the race. It's more about like conquering the mountain and the slope. And yeah, I think just be able to ski Kitzbhel again is going to be a huge victory for me. Not just because it's Kitzbhel, but also because everything around it.
When you're standing at the start of one of the most dangerous downhills, things change. And I think that's the point, that's the right timing to find out if he's ready to give it all again.
So it's a mental challenge for sure. But I have my tools and breathing and trying to turn off the adrenaline for a little bit and trying to relax and save all the energy for those 2 minutes you're going down the mountain. That's what actually matters. So sometimes I'm even trying to fall asleep before I'm going and just get the heart rate down 100%. I think that makes me focus when I wake up again. And then when it's half an hour till I go, then, trying to pump up and get ready for the fight.
I'm 100% sure that Alex wants to have that feeling back. Being at the start, being nervous, being scared a little bit, knowing the abilities he has, and to go out and attack a downhill race. That's a sensation, a feeling you experience on race day. And I know 100% Alex wants to have that back.
In here, the sound is quiet, but the people are nervous, and you can just feel the tense setting, but everything is super quiet. And then the service guy usually stands here, and then you tell him, okay, now I can put my skis on, and then you put the skis down, very careful, and then you go, and then you put your boots, boom, boom, ready, and then you just wait. And you feel like you're getting into the zone of, okay, what's my task? What do I want to achieve today? What do I need to remember? And there's usually a start interval of 2 minutes, 2 minutes 15. So then the guy in front of you goes out, and you just see him tip, and he disappears, and it's your turn. And then you're just out there. You prepare yourself, you go through the course one more time, you think about your tasks one more time, and then you just slowly out.